Excellent. Alright, so this may look familiar to anybody who has actually followed my channel for a while, because I've played Mass Effect before. It has been a really long time, however, and the last, when I actually played it, it was very, very corrupted because YouTube wasn't anywhere near as good with its streaming, and it just totally shot the quality. With that, and the fact that, I actually should be able to play Mass Effect 3 much better, we're just going to start completely over.
Welcome to Alliance Military Database.
We're going to do the whole series.
Classified information requested.
Probably back to back.
Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed.
I believe I can just straight up... Yeah, I can just straight up import this. Download condiment missing. Bring down the sky. Oh lord, it's giving me the same problem it did last time.
Military database.
I'll figure it out later.
Classified information requested.
I'll just remake her and I'll figure out the
Establishing secure connection.
DLC thing later.
Secure connection confirmed.
I really love Mass Effect, but it's really bad.
Please log in to access your profile.
Really bad sometimes. With the DLC and the... Yeah! You can really tell this was ported to Steam half-assedly.
Warning. Data corruption detected.
Those are the types of things I would always address after the game was over,
Please
though, so it's not a huge deal.
Pre-service history.
So, Earthborn, you were an orphan raised on the streets of the great megatropolises, I can't words, covering Earth. You escaped the life of petty crime and underworld gangs by enlisting with the Alliance military when you turned 18.
Confirm psychological profile.
War hero. Early in your military career, you found yourself facing an overwhelming enemy force. You risked your own life to save your fellow soldiers and defeat the enemy despite the impossible odds. Your bravery and heroism have earned you medals and recognition from the Alliance fleet.
Confirm military specialization.
And of course, Vanguard. Vanguards are biotic warriors. They combine biotics... Excuse you. They combine biotics and weapons to take down opponents and are especially deadly at short range. They use pistols and shotguns and can specialize in medium armor.
Confirm facial identification.
And we're gonna... I am lucky that most of the, appearances based off the default, so I don't have to mess around too much, but... Yeah, it's a... It's a thing. Also, yes, trying to turn her head is exactly as unwieldy as it looks like it is. I don't really know what the game is trying to do here. Ah, there it is. Well, that's all fine. Where's the ponytail? Is that it? No, that doesn't look... There it is. It's like, I can never tell because she won't turn her head far enough. And we'll darken it up and that should be fine. Yeah, I like the way that looks.
Profile reconstruction complete.
There we go. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get rid of that and see if it stops complaining at me.
Identification confirmed.
So we're gonna stick with combat difficulty on casual because honestly that's just the most fun for me. Auto level up is off. Target assist. Clear. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. Subtitles, autosave, that should be fine. So let's get started.
Well, what about Shepard? Earthborn, but no record of her family.
Doesn't have one. She was raised on the streets, learned to look out for herself.
She proved herself during the Blitz, held off enemy forces on the ground until reinforcements arrived.
She's the only reason Elysium is still standing.
We can't question her courage.
Humanity needs a hero, and Shepard's the best we've got.
I'll make the call.
In the year 2148, explorers on Mars discovered the remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization. In the decades that followed, these mysterious artifacts revealed startling new technologies, enabling travel to the furthest stars. The basis for this incredible technology was a force that controlled the very fabric of space and time. They called it the greatest... Okay. Fine, don't let me finish reading. Yeah, it's just called Mass Effect. The game's named after it.
The Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector.
Ah, thank you,
All
Maverick.
stations secure for transit. Board is green. Approach run has begun.
Is it loud enough? It sounds a little quiet in my headphones.
3, 2, 1.
Ah, excellent.
Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1500K.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment, so you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead. So that's incredible.
Ah, Joker.
Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're
You
paranoid.
The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
They don't send Spectres on shakedown runs.
So there's more going on here than the captain's letting on.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
He sounds angry. Something must have gone wrong with the mission.
Captain always sounds like that when he's talking to me.
I wonder why.
Can't possibly imagine why.
Also, no, I'm not trying to to jinx Caden. I just keep forgetting he says that he says that stuff. Is it over here? Ah, here they are.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Also, like before, this is still going to be a Paragon run, and an Everyone Survives run, so just so you know.
Sounds like you don't trust Arturian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
What do you know about the stealth systems?
I just know it masks our location from scans and sensors. Cutting-edge technology. The Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive. But why are we fully staffed? A skeleton crew would be cheaper, less chance of security leaks too. Plus there's Nihilus. It's pretty obvious this shakedown run is just a cover.
For what?
Damned if I know, Commander. We're out here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being left in the dark.
Is it technically being paranoid if you're absolutely correct?
Do you have a problem with the captain?
No, ma'am. But I can't figure out what he's doing here. Captain Anderson is one of the most decorated Special Forces officers in the service. If he melted down all his medals, he could make a life-size statue of himself. You don't send a soldier like that on a do-nothing mission. He's treating this shakedown run too seriously. Something big is going on.
You don't trust Nihilus?
I don't like Turians in general. It runs in my family. My grandfather fought in the First Contact War. Lost a lot of friends when the Turians hit us.
That was 30 years ago. You can't blame Nihilus for that.
No, I guess not. But it still makes me nervous to have a Spectre on board. Especially a Turian. We're an Alliance vessel, human military, but Nihilus doesn't answer to the captain like the rest of us. Spectres operate outside the normal chain of command. And they don't come along just to observe shakedown runs. Nihilus looks like he's expecting some heavy action. I don't like it.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
I grew up on Eden Prime, Doc. It's not the kind of place Spectres visit. There's something Nihilus isn't telling us about this mission.
Where is Jenkins?
Crazy.
Over here.
The captain's in charge here. He wouldn't take orders from a Spectre.
Not his choice, Doc. Spectres don't answer to anyone. They can do whatever they want. Kill anyone who gets in their way.
Oh, you watch too many spy vids, Jenkins.
Hello.
What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
You need to calm down, Corporal. A good soldier stays cool even under fire.
Sorry, Commander, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
What can you tell me about Nihilus?
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. Their fleet has more patrols protecting Citadel space than any other. They don't always get on well with us, though. Some people find them too rigid. Others still blame them for the First Contact War. As for Nihilus, I haven't said more than 2 words to him. He usually only speaks to the captain.
I heard Nihilus once took down an entire enemy platoon all by himself. Man, I can't believe I'm on a mission with an actual Spectre.
Yeah, Chakwas is one of my favorite characters in the series as well.
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents work directly for the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically, they're a shadow organization with a mandate to preserve and protect galactic stability.
Protect it at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
Why don't we have any of our own people in there?
Spectres usually come from the Council races, like the Turians. We've been trying to get a human accepted into their ranks for years now. So far, it hasn't happened.
Hey, Commander, you'd make a good Spectre. You're a war hero, right? Held off an entire enemy fleet during the Blitz single-handed? That's the kind of talent the Spectres are looking for.
This is all just wild speculation. The Spectres aren't interested in recruiting humans, no matter how capable.
Oh yeah, just to cover my bases, this is a no-spoiler series. I'm aware of how old the games are, but you never know who's watching it for the first time, so let's try not to talk about stuff before it happens.
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you, Jenkins? What's it like?
It's very peaceful, Commander. They've been real careful with development, so you don't have any city noise or pollution. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony. At night, I used to climb this big hill and stare across the fields back at the lights from the main settlement. It was gorgeous. But when I got older, I realized it was a little too calm and quiet for me. That's why I joined the Alliance. Even Paradise gets boring after a while.
Any idea why Eden Prime was chosen as our destination?
Not really sure, Commander. Eden Prime's one of our most stable colonies. Good place to take the Normandy for a shakedown run, I guess. No real danger there. There's gotta be something else going on. We've got a Spectre on board. That's why I'm so wound up. I can't wait for the real mission to start.
Alright, I'm done talking to you.
Just treat this like every other assignment you've had and everything will work out.
Easy for you to say. You proved yourself in the Blitz. Everybody knows what you can do. This is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
You're young, Corporal. You have a long career ahead of you. Don't do something stupid to mess it up.
Don't worry, ma'am. I'm not gonna screw this up.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
Anybody else we can talk to? I don't think so. So I have to readjust to the way Shepard moves. It's not bad by any means, but it is definitely different than most people move, or most games use to move.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
Wait, wasn't Anderson in here with you? Where did he go?
The captain said he'd meet me here.
He's on his way. I'm interested in this world we're going to. Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
He's being nice. Let's be nice back.
They say it's a paradise.
Yes, a paradise. Serene, tranquil, safe. Eden Prime has become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it really?
Is that a... What are you getting at here, Nihilus?
Do you know something?
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
Ready for what?
I think it's about time we told the commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
No, really? I have to go with the sarcastic option.
I already figured that out.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
There must be a reason you didn't tell me about this, sir?
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
This is big, Shepard. The last time humanity made a discovery like this, it jumped our technology forward 200 years. But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
Also, I do really like the way that they handle exposition in this game, where when they bring up something new, Shepard just kind of clarifies something or adds in more information, because by all means, Shepard knows everything you're already discussing, so it makes it a lot more organic, but it also teaches you, which is really, really good.
It never hurts to have a few extra hands on board.
Just be nice.
The beacon's not the only reason I'm here, Shepard.
Nihilus wants to see you in action, Commander. He's here to evaluate you.
Yes, for those who don't know, basically in this game, while I do think it gets better in the later games, in this game, Renegade is basically racist anti-alien. For the most part, so I don't... Even if I was going Renegade, I wouldn't, because I don't like that kind of thing.
Guess that explains why I bump into him every time I turn around.
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
You held off an enemy assault during the Blitz single-handed. You showed not only courage, but also incredible skill. That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
Also, I know she was just being metaphorical, but the mental image of Shepard constantly literally banging into Nihilus every time she turns around is pretty funny to me.
Why would a Turian want a human in the Spectres?
Not all Turians resent humanity. Some of us see the potential of your species. We see what you have to offer to the rest of the galaxy. And to the Spectres. We are an elite group. It's rare to find an individual with the skills we seek. I don't care that you're human, Shepard. I only care that you can do the job.
I really, really like Nihilus, by the way. I'll talk a bit more about Charm and Intimidate when I actually get access to my my menus.
I assume this is good for the Alliance.
Earth needs this, Shepard. We're counting on you.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander. Eden Prime will be the first of several missions together.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
I was thinking,
What do you know about the Protheans?
I
Just
don't know
like
why I
it
do
was in
that.
school. They were a technologically advanced species that ruled the galaxy 50,000 years ago. Then they vanished. Nobody really knows how or why, though I've heard plenty of theories. But everyone agrees, galactic civilization wouldn't exist without them.
Their citadel is the very heart of galactic society, and without their mass relays, interstellar travel would be impossible. We all owe the Protheans a great debt.
I really like the glowy part on Nihlus' armor as well. That's really cool looking. So I don't know why I like start to talk and then interrupt myself with dialogue.
I'd like to know more about Eden Prime before we touch down.
Why are you asking
It's a
Nihlus?
peaceful farm, but it represents something much bigger. Eden Prime is one of our oldest and most successful colonies. It proved we were ready to face the challenges of settling new worlds, to forge a place for humanity beyond Earth. It symbolizes humanity's growth and evolution as a spacefaring species. And after this, it will be known as the world where humans made a discovery of galactic importance.
Why is this beacon so important?
All advanced galactic civilization is based on Prothean technology, even yours.
If we hadn't discovered those Prothean ruins buried on Mars, we'd still be stuck on Earth. That was just a small data cache. Who knows what we can learn from this beacon? What if it's a weapons archive? We can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
Like who?
The Paragon Traverse isn't the most stable sector of Citadel space. There are plenty of raiders and criminal groups active in the region. They might figure a Prothean beacon is worth the risk of attacking an Alliance ship. Plus, Eden Prime is right on the border of the Terminus systems.
Also, as you might have noticed, for as much as I love Mass Effect, it really does have the tit pocket problem on the armor. Where it is like completely... Its design is completely wrong and... What's the term for it? And something's like the opposite of working properly. It gets better in 2, but we just gotta kind of put up with it for now.
The Paragon Traverse is under Citadel protection. If the Terminus systems attack, it's an act of war.
Technically, yes. But some of the species in the Terminus might be willing to start a war over this.
The last thing the Council wants is to get dragged into a major conflict with the Terminus systems.
Yeah.
We have to keep this low-key.
See, basically, the reason tit pockets don't work on armor is that breastplates are designed so that any strikes that come at you are supposed to be deflected toward your sides. By doing it that way, it avoids your rib cage and your heart. But when you have tit pockets, the breast part, the parts of the armor where your tits are sticking out, it directs all of the force of the strikes inwards, directly towards your heart and your rib cage. So it would literally get you killed if you actually wore crap like this.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Uh-oh.
Bring it up on screen.
This is nothing good, is it?
Get down!
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need...
Well, that dude's dead. And that sure doesn't look good. Apparently...
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5.
Eden Prime apparently has a Cthulhu problem. Also, I really like that spot in the scene.
Report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker, fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
A small strike team can move quickly, without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
You don't really learn it until a little bit later, but with Turians, those little mandibles on the side of their face are their main facial expressions. So when Nihlus did that, that means he either recognized what that was or he was really distressed by the look of it.
Here, Captain.
I just love how subtle it
Your team's
is.
the muscle in this operation, Commander. Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
So,
Nihilus, you coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
why are you not wearing a helmet, Nihilus?
Nihilus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
We've got his back, Captain.
The mission's yours now, Shepard.
Whoa.
Good luck.
I just noticed how weird that visor made my eyes look.
Drop point 2.
Alright, so let's go over things really quick while we have it. Equipment is the equipment that that you're wearing. Shocker, right? So basically this shows you what weapons you have available. I believe in this game you can't actually equip anything you can equip anything even if you're not specialized in it. So you see that I've technically got one of everything here. But you don't do quite as good if you're not specialized in it. And you have, this is the basic self-explanatory. You have how much damage it does, you have roughly how accurate it is. This is a shotgun, or an assault rifle, so the accuracy's not really great. The shots before overheat is the thing. If I remember correctly, there is not ammunition in this game. Instead, you can only fire a certain amount of times before the gun overheats, and it needs a few seconds to recharge. So you kind of have to balance your firing with not firing to let the heat bar go down. Yeah, as Maverick says, is that even though you can use every gun, you're basically shit with any gun you're not specialized in. And as a Vanguard, we're specialized in shotguns and pistols, so that is pretty much what we're going to be using exclusively here. These little things are for upgrade slots. We don't have anything we can put in the upgrade yet. We don't have any mods, but that'll be it a little bit later. Down here, this is Omnigel for healing. Omnigel. This is Metagel for healing. I don't remember. I believe this is the grenades we have. This is the Omnigel we have, which is only used in this game. And this is the credits we have, which is how much money we have. You can toggle your helmet on and off here. You can do it for every individual character in case you want somebody to have a helmet and somebody not to. So, I mean, it's equipment. It's pretty self-explanatory. So squad here is where things get interesting. Every class has a lot of different specializations here. You can see that as a Vanguard we get pistols, shotgun, assault training, tactical armor, throw, lift, warp, and barrier. These four are what are known as biotic abilities. I don't really know how to explain them. The best way is they're sort of psychic abilities in a way that you get from having biotic talent, which comes from various sources, but that's something we'll get into a little bit later, because I believe the game can explain it a bit better than I can. You also have your class tree, which gives you a bunch of things. In this case, our damage and protection gets higher because Vanguards tend to be very short range. Well, not very short range fighters, especially not in this game, but they do tend to have better luck when you can get into shotgun range with things. Though you still need to be careful. Here we have what Maverick mentioned before. This is the Charm skill and the Intimidate skill. Basically, Charm and Intimidate are tied to Paragon and Renegade. You might notice that each of these only have 3 options. The more Paragon or Renegade points you have, the more of this you get. You generally want to only specialize in one because there are a lot of checks, especially in the late game, that are very hard. And I believe it is actually impossible to fill both bars through a single run of the game. So you want to just decide, okay, are you going to be Paragon, are you going to be Renegade, and you're going to want to kind of stick with that through most of the game. Because Charm, they get you lots of stuff. You can see Charm decreases the cost of items in stores, Intimidate increases the gains of selling in stores. And the main thing about them is that if you've ever seen any kind of dialogue locked thing, think of it like that. I'm trying to figure out how to put this. Persuade. If you've ever played an RPG that has a persuade option, Charm and Intimidate are basically the persuade option, but split into 2. Charm is always nicer. It's more peaceful. It tends to resolve things more fairly for those involved. While Intimidate is meant to be very self-serving, very forceful. It tends to get the quickest and most decisive result. And neither of this is good or bad. The Paragon and Renegade option in these games attempts to not be black and white, not be good and evil, but more just different ways of achieving your goal. And for the most part, it succeeds, besides some things here and there. So think of a Paragon as a soldier who tends to try to solve things with diplomacy, who tends to try to find the best results for everyone, and Renegade is a soldier who is intent on getting the job done, who's intent on cutting out the gaff, and just making sure things are finished. I wouldn't say that, because I personally think diplomatic is still very badass. If you can literally talk your way out of boss fights, that's pretty badass. But it is the difference between essentially just going in guns blazing and trying to talk people down before shooting them, which you'll see more of. For the most part, I am going to let the game auto level up people for a little bit, if just because I don't really use the people I currently have. It's going to be a while before we get the 2 people I tend to stick with, though I will take votes on who I should take. Journal is all of your missions and your stuff. Assignments are like little side things you can do that aren't related to like the main plot. And Codex has all kinds of information. Primary and secondary. There's a lot of stuff, and some dude will read it out for you. I might make that a bonus video a little later once I've got as many as I can get. But yeah, that was a bit long, but that's basically how the game works and how our thing works. I don't remember how to actually select a gun.
Hostiles everywhere.
There we go. Press and hold spacebar. Thank you. We are going to stick with the storm here. Actually, you know what? Let's go with the pistol for now. It does actually take you time to switch your weapons.
What the hell are those?
Also, you can hold the right mouse button to zoom in.
Damn.
Left mouse button fires. And Q holsters your weapon. When you holster your weapon, the UI vanishes, which sometimes makes me start a bit, because I feel like a cutscene's gonna begin. Also, the water effect is, not the best. I think this is like an Xbox game, so... So this is an option is reduced to Omnigel. Omnigel lets you basically bypass a lot of things. Like, if you can't do little, minigame hacking, you can use Omnigel to bypass it. I am gonna take that though, because that looks like something I could use in the shotgun. Shotgun. Yes, that's actually gonna be very useful. Stability is always gonna be a problem with higher fire guns. This is not where I need to go, is it? Yeah, we are in the corner. Basically, yeah. We need to go this way. One thing I don't like about this game is that we have a compass instead of the minimap in the corner. I feel like they really should have been combined to make it a bit easier to navigate. But what are you gonna do? It just means you're honestly going to be seeing me pull the map up a lot to try to figure out where I'm supposed to go. Because as much as I really, really like the designs of the places, they're also pretty confusing. Those are some charred up bodies. Yes, they are. I stumbled my way in the right area, apparently. Oh no, Jenkins is dead. Oh.
All targets down.
I threw something. I think that was the grenade. Yeah! It was pretty clear Jenkins was not gonna survive.
Rip right through his shields. We're at a chance.
He does deserve a burial, but unfortunately we're in a really tight time limit here, so...
Sometimes Marines die. The rest of us just have to carry on. We still have to find that beacon.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
It's awful, but... they made it pretty clear this is not a time we have to lollygag around. So grenades are going to be interesting because R is the reload button on 2 and 3, where you actually have ammunition. I don't remember how to take cover, so this is going to be fun. Ah, there we go. So I'm probably going to be repeatedly throwing grenades without meaning to.
Shepard. A lot of bodies. I'm gonna check it out. I'll try to catch up with you at the dig site.
Also, if you look above my name, or our names there, you can actually see the heat bar for my gun. Let's see. I know what the filter tabs are. Why will you not shut up about it? So let's go ahead and grab that health regeneration. Alright, thank you for letting me know. I'm way more used to 2 and 3s. So I'm going to try very, very hard not to blow myself up, but I feel like I am going to, at least once, walk onto my own grenade. Also, whenever you're pressing against cover, Shepard does tend to stick to the cover, which is both really helpful and kind of annoying. Hi? That's not really how we say hello here. Yeah, you always get one of every class in your party, so you can customize it as you please. Also, despite the fact that the target does not light up, you can in fact hit these guys from really far away.
Thanks for your help, Commander. I didn't think I was gonna make it.
Also, this is Ashley Williams. She is the worst fucking character in the entire series. At least of your party.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, ma'am?
Are you wounded, Williams?
A few scrapes and burns. Nothing serious. The others weren't so lucky. Oh, man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Where's the rest of your squad?
We tried to double back to the beacon, but we walked into an ambush. I don't think any of the others... I think I'm the only one left.
Also, yeah, you can also... Renegade also tends to be the prick option. If you really like being an asshole in video games.
This isn't your fault, Williams. You couldn't have done anything to save them.
Yes, ma'am. We held our position as long as we could, until the Geth overwhelmed us.
Geth, huh?
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
That's a good question, Caden.
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, ma'am. It's time for payback.
What else do you know about the Geth?
Just what I remember from history class back in school. They're synthetics, non-organic life forms with limited AI programming, created by the Quarians a few centuries ago. They were supposed to be a source of cheap labor, but ended up turning on the Quarians and drove them into exile. Well, after that, they just kind of disappeared behind the Perseus Veil. Nobody's really heard much from them since.
Tell me everything you know about the beacon.
They were doing some digging out here to extend the monorail and expand the colony. A few weeks ago, they unearthed some Prothean ruins, and the beacon. Suddenly, every scientific expert in the colony was interested. That's when they brought us in to secure the site. I don't know much about the beacon itself, but I heard one of the researchers say this could be the biggest scientific discovery of the century.
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
I don't know. They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared better than mine.
Describe what happened leading up to the attack.
We were sent out a couple of nights ago from the main colony to secure the area. Seemed like a routine patrol, until the Geth hit us. We never knew they were coming.
See, Nihilus?
Have you seen a Turian Spectre around here?
There aren't any Turians on Eden Prime. None that I've ever met. Not sure I'd be able to tell if one was a Spectre anyway.
If you saw this guy, you'd know. Carries enough firepower to wipe out a whole platoon. Luckily, he's on our side.
Sorry. Like I said, no Turians.
So Nihilus didn't go this way. That's good to know.
Move out!
So Ashley Williams here has two... Thank you, tutorial. So this is actually good. You can see if... because everything's green, if you get an upgrade on it, it goes to yellow, and then if it goes down, it goes by red. This looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with the pistol she gave me. So the thing about Ashley is that she hits two major sins. Light armor, I'll go ahead and take that. I'm mostly going to be taking everything right now rather than just kind of peering over it, because you can always reduce it to Omnigel later. But yeah, Ashley has two major sins that she commits. The first is that she's a complete racist shitbag. She does get better. I will concede that she does get better later on in her personal mission, or whatever you want to call it. Let's see, can I get a grenade over there? Yes, I can! But basically that's very, very late. You essentially have to go through her entire dialogue tree before she stops being a racist shitbag. And I'm just not willing to put in that work when she is so unrepentantly one. But there's another reason... Oh,
this is
dialogue.
the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
You think anyone got out of here alive?
If they were lucky. Maybe hiding up in the camp. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Okay.
Change of plans, Shepard. There's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
Alright. F6? Good, actually. That is quick save. But as much as I hate her being racist, she actually commits a much worse crime, which pretty much everyone can agree with, I think. In that Ashley is just fucking boring. There's nothing interesting or unique or special about her. She's just boring. And I will concede that Caden is kind of similar. He is kind of boring himself. He's pretty much just the normal dude. She's pretty much the normal girl. But Caden, at least, is pleasant and likable.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
She's not.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard.
What's wrong with those bodies?
Oh god, they're still alive.
I
What did the Geth do to them?
don't know I'd say that, Caden. So meet the husks. Oh boy. Their gimmick is, as you can see, running and charging directly at you. They are the rank and file of the Geth. You're going to be fighting a lot of them. Yeah. The reason I tell you this about Ashley is because you're not going to learn it normally. I don't ever pay any attention to Ashley. I do not unlock her dialogue. I do not... I know! What do I have to do to make it stop telling me? If I turn that to Omnigel, will you shut up? Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm telling you this now because you will not find it out through any sort of dialogue, because I'm not going to talk to Ashley. I'm not going to I'm not gonna pay any attention to her. Basically, the moment we get a squad mate I can replace her with, she's getting booted out and she's gonna rot on the ship. So here is the manual override minigame. Oops. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Thank the Maker.
Hurry! Close the door before they come back.
It's okay.
Don't worry. We'll protect you.
Thank you. I think we'll be okay now. It looks like everyone's gone.
You're Dr. Warren, the one in charge of the excavation. Do you know what happened to the beacon?
It was moved to the spaceport this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to help pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended.
Soon,
only ruin and corpses will remain.
I think Dr. Manuel needs a psych. Poor guy.
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast. 1 second we were gathering up our equipment. The next we were hiding in the shed while the Geths swarmed over the camp.
Agents of the destroyers, bringers of darkness, heralds of our extinction.
We could hear the battle outside. Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went quiet. We just sat there, too afraid to move, until you came along.
I heard more gunfire, no doubt.
Did you notice a Turian in the area?
I saw him, the Prophet, leader of the enemy.
What?
He was here before the attack.
That's impossible. Nihilus was with us in the Normandy before the attack. He couldn't have been here.
I'm sorry. Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
Is there another one kicking around here?
Can you tell me anything about the beacon?
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network. Remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
We have unearthed the heart of evil, awakened the beast, unleashed the darkness.
Manuel, please. This isn't the time.
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable. Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
Is it madness to see the future? To see the destruction rushing towards us? To understand there is no escape? No hope? No. I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
Yeah, you can apparently punch him out, but why would you do that?
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
You can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. Night is falling. The darkness of eternity.
Hush, Manuel. Go lie down. You'll feel better once the medication kicks in.
I think we need to get this dude to a hospital. Anything I can rob? No. Alright then, let's move on. That's where we came from. Where are we going? Up over here. Oops. Ah, the passage is up over here. Yeah, you see what I mean about it being a little hard to tell where you need to go? Hey, Nihilus! And that's another Turian.
Saren.
Apparently one Nihilus knows? Hi there, buddy! You okay? You look a little...
This isn't your mission, Saren.
Off.
What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
What's wrong with the back of your head?
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Wait, Saren! Oh god, his eyes are glowing. Also, thank you for reminding me of this. That's not... I don't need Caden. So here's Warp. Damages all nearby enemies and objects. Makes them more vulnerable to further damage. And Throw, which is basically Force Push. But better. That didn't look good. Holy crap, that thing is huge. That is huge and very, very, very loud. Oh, hello. These grenades are really hard to use, right? Oh, hello! That... Why did that not hit? Also, yeah, powers operate on a cooldown, so the lower level the power is, the longer it takes to cool down, the less effective it is. To be fair, I don't... I was gonna say, to be fair, I don't think this game really pays much attention to physics, but it surprisingly tries to properly justify a lot of things.
Everybody stay calm out there. We're coming out, we're not armed.
I like it.
Is it safe? Are they gone?
You're okay now. Nobody's gonna hurt you.
Those things were crawling all around the shed. They would have found us for sure. We owe you our lives.
I still can't believe it. When we saw that ship, I thought it was all over.
It showed up right before the attack. Knew it was trouble the second I saw it, so we made a break for the sheds.
Tell me everything you remember about the attack.
The three of us were working the crops when that ship showed up. We just saw it and ran. I don't know what happened to the rest of the crew.
They were by the garage, over near the spaceport, right where that ship came down. No way they survived.
You don't know that. We survived. If they made it to the garage, they could have had a fighting chance.
It does, but they actually have, like, some science behind it. As far as I can tell looking through the codexes, the game is less, it works that way because a wizard did it, now shut up. And it works that way because this is how Mass Effect works in, like, 4 pages of scientific formulas.
Do you know anything about the Prothean beacon they dug up?
We're just farmers. We heard they found something out there, but it never really mattered to us. Not until now.
What else can you tell me about the ship you saw?
I was too busy running to get a clear look at it. I think it landed over near the spaceport.
Tell them about the noise, Cole. That awful noise.
It was emitting some kind of signal as it descended. It sounded like the shriek of the damned. Only it was coming from inside your own head.
It was probably trying to block communications.
Whatever it was, felt like it was tearing right through my skull. Almost made it impossible to think.
I have to go.
Hey, Cole, we're just a bunch of farmers. These guys are soldiers. Maybe we should give them the stuff.
Stuff?
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
You have something to tell me, Cole?
Some guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring. Nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our sheds.
What kind of packages?
I found a pistol. Figured it would come in handy if those things came back. But you'll probably get more use out of it than we will.
Also, here is the first branch. If you have Charm 1, I believe, you can access this. Intimidate 1 also lets you access this. I figured, well, let's be nice. They're already heavily traumatized. We can get into the illegality of smuggling a little later.
We're risking our lives to save this colony. You sure there's nothing else in here that could help us out?
Yeah, there's one more thing. I was gonna sell it after this was over, but you probably deserve it more than I do.
Also, that's how Charm works. Charm...
Who's your contact at the spaceport, Cole? What's his name?
He's not a bad guy. I don't want to get him in trouble. Besides, I'm not a snitch.
Yeah, see, if I had actually... This is probably a Charm 2 check. If I had put another point in Charm 2, I could have gotten it, but, that's fine.
Okay, forget about it. I've got more important things to worry about.
Good luck.
So yeah, as Maverick said, in general, I could have actually gotten it if I, come in here. In general, you're mostly gonna get the same effect. When, let's see. When you, regardless of whether you use, Charm or Intimidate, but the actual... What dialogue happens, what points you get, whether or not they like you, and sometimes even the items you get are different depending on what you use. Let's see if we can get Barrier. We don't have enough points to get it right now, but it looks like that'll be very useful a little later. So So he gave me a pistol and a combat sensor. Alright, I'm actually gonna have to turn the tutorials off because that will not go away. Let's see. Ooh. That's nice. Combat sensors. Some of these use jamming technology to block your open radar. These combat scan operators and crew projectiles, making these enemies visible. That was a nice haul. That, by the way, in general, if you're going to be playing this, I will say right now, whatever side you pick, Paragon or Renegade, you want to prioritize the Charm and Intimidate. Because that will be really, really good for getting you equipped.
Something's moving over behind those crates.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
Good grief.
Sneaking up on us like that nearly got you killed.
I am sorry, I was hiding from those creatures. My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
Oh boy.
I need to know how Nihilus died.
The other one got here first. He was waiting when your friend showed up. He called him Saren.
Saren.
I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. And Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
Oh, we did know that. Nihilus did say it, but I feel like that name is one we're really gonna need to remember.
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What happened to it?
It's over on the other platform. Probably where that guy Saren was headed. He hopped on the cargo train right after he killed your friend. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
Also, as a rule of thumb, if something is on the left side, it generally will just give you more information without progressing the conversation, while something on the right side will generally make the conversation a lot shorter and finish it. This is not a hard rule, as you can see there. Technically, it did progress to another stage after talking about it, but in general, it's pretty safe.
Tell me about the Geth attack.
It was quick. 1 minute that ship was descending, the next, those Geth were swarming over the platform. Thousands of them. They must have been inside that mothership. They shot anything that moved. It was a massacre.
How come you're the only one who survived? Why didn't anyone else try to hide behind the crates?
They never had a chance. I was already behind the crates when the attack started.
Wait a minute. You were hiding behind the crates before the attack?
Sometimes I need a nap to get through my shift. I sneak off behind the crates to grab 40 winks where the supervisor can't find me.
You got lucky today.
You survived because you're lazy?
If you hadn't snuck off for that nap, you'd probably be dead just like all the others.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really want to think about it.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, yeah, Ashley, you have no idea how often he does it. If it's just like a couple of naps here and there, that's not a big deal, especially if he's not napping all the time. We don't know for sure.
Tell me about this mothership you saw.
I've never seen anything like it before. It was huge. Landed over near that platform. The whole place got dark as it came down. And it was making this noise, this sound that bored right into your brain. That's what woke me up. The attack came a few minutes later.
Alright, looks like that's everything he can tell us. Yeah. Honestly, that's more what I would assume is... Because hauling crates and working on stuff like this is exhausting from what I can tell, so he probably is just trying to get some rest. As long as he's actually doing his job, which I assume he was considering he's not fired.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
It's fine.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went. I can't stay here. I need to get away from all this.
Find somewhere safe. Preferably behind us, considering we've sort of massacred everything that, Oh yeah, I think I can assign people to... Honestly, the arrow keys are actually this is not really mapped all that well, because I have to take my hand off either the mouse or the movement keys to hit the arrow keys. Where is the thing that's firing at us? Down there? I probably should remap it, but I honestly wouldn't know what I would remap it to. Oh, here's Paragon down here. So, Caden, as you can see, has some pretty nice stuff. Let's go ahead and get him to do that. That's a grenade! Oh, crap. At least I think it is. It's not exploding. Okay, guys, come on, really? This is the other problem, is that, at least in this game, your squad is not very smart. They don't really automatically follow you if you move ahead, unless they're disengaging. Well, that hit that time. Whoa, I'm in a lot of trouble. So one thing I haven't mentioned is that you need to prioritize Shepard's health over everyone else, because this is a Persona style thing. If Shepard dies, you game over. It doesn't matter who else is up. You're done. Let's go ahead and have them move up. It's a bit easier when I'm actually behind cover, but it's still very, very clunky. So again, I'm not really sure what I would map it to myself. Well, I mean, your party members you can bring back to life with Metagel, if I'm not mistaken. That might be later, but they can't do the same for Shepard. That's just what I mean by it being kind of... Unless Shepard is just, like, hoarding all of the Metagel and nobody else gets any whatsoever. Ah, thank you. Like I said, it has been a while since I've played this, and I play 2 far more than I play the other.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
Saren's talking to the Gath. This is a bad sign, I think. Also, I just realized he has wires coming out of his hip. Like, embedded in his hip. Could you go more creepy assimilation Borg on us there, buddy? First things first. Oh, they hit the quick save, but the game will actually not let you save.
Demolition charges. The Geth must have planted.
I think it auto saves there. I forgot about it.
Find them all and shut them down.
So you have 5 minutes to get all 3 of these charges disarmed. The reason it takes a second for that to kick in is because the Geth cannon will fire on you. Luckily, at least on this difficulty, your squad mates are fairly competent. Shepard. Thank you. I have grenades. I might as well use them. Whoop. don't know if I hit or actually killed it, but whatever, it's dead. Thankfully this isn't too difficult, but I can't really, Alright, you know what? Go away. I usually like having tutorials for a game that I haven't played in a while, but I'm already getting annoyed about the fact it's repeated everything like 4 times now. I can't imagine what a nightmare this would be on harder difficulties, though. There we go. And now we can quick save because there's no threat of immediate game over. Is it this way I need to go? Yeah. Assault rifle and human light armor. Okay, I need to move over here. Well, hello! That's the main reason I hate husks, is they can get really close before you even realize that they're there. Shields back up. Also, you might have noticed the fact that occasionally the characters will have a little flicker around them. A little blue aura sort of flicker. That's the sign that their shields have fully regenerated. Ooh, pistols. I do think the design gets a bit better in 2 in that it's a lot easier to figure out where in the fuck you actually are when you're playing 2. Thought we had more minigames than this, but I guess not. Also, if you hit the reds, you don't like automatically fail, you just are knocked back to the start of the okay. You're just knocked back to the start of the little minigame. Most of these look meh. You do have limited inventory in this game, I believe, so it's a good idea to reduce to Omnigel the thing you need, but I'm saving it for later party members for the moment. Let's go with the chemical rounds for the moment. I think I'll give the armor-piercing rounds to the shotgun. Yep. To both of those, actually, yeah. That's one reason you kind of want to hoard the Omnigel you got for later levels of all this. The early levels does give some decent stuff, but it's nowhere near good enough to actually waste your Omnigel on. Up there, see? Unless you just happen to have some kind of huge stock of Omnigel for some reason. So I really wish Take All was the first option, not the second. That's like the 4th time I've very nearly reduced some stuff I wanted to Omnigel. Looks like I've cleaned this place out. Other reason you want to try to grab everything and not reduce stuff too much is that you can sell weapons, and you're going to need to sell weapons for some stuff a little bit later. So let's see what this beacon is all about, shall we?
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is amazing. Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up.
Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Uh-oh. Caden? Caden? Oh, well, it's got us now.
Shepard.
Oh, dear
No, don't touch
God.
it. It's too dangerous.
What is happening? Oof. I've made it explode. Also, apparently I am now unconscious. Didn't do anything when Saren, like that when Saren interfaced with it. Well, I guess the beacon's not much of a problem anymore. Hi?
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime. The Normandy. A human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
Saren? Saren? I kind of love how calm she was.
This human must be eliminated.
He threw some at her, she just slightly tilted her head. Also, I do have to tell you, unfortunately, get used to that. The race she is are heavily sexualized, which is immensely eye-rolling, but...
Dr. Chakwas. I think she's waking up.
Nothing we can do about it.
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
I probably feel like I just got hit in the face by a Mack truck, if I'm gonna be honest.
Minor throbbing, but nothing serious. How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had to push me out of the way.
You had no way to know what would happen.
Oh, he smiled.
Actually, we don't even know if that's what set it off. Unfortunately, we'll never get the chance to find out.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. And the blast knocked you cold. Williams and I had to carry you back here to the ship.
At a local hospital? Man, I would put my hands in Chakwas more than any local doctor.
I appreciate it.
Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity. Abnormal beta waves. I also noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
I saw... I'm not sure what I saw. Death, destruction... Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh. Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Yay!
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you. In private.
We're not brain dead.
Aye, aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
I don't like soldiers dying under my command.
Jenkins wasn't your fault. You did a good job, Shepard.
Did we leave Gunnery Chief Williams back on Eden Prime?
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
I think it's a major mistake, but, whatever.
Williams is a good soldier. She deserves it.
Lieutenant
It'll be
Alenko
nice.
agrees with you. That's why I added her to our crew.
Intel dropped the ball, sir. We had no idea what we were walking into down there. That's why things went to hell.
The Geth haven't been outside the Veil in 2 centuries, Commander. Nobody could have predicted this.
You couldn't, I don't know, have at least prepped for something like that?
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad. Nihilus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
Like, I don't blame them for not specifically predicting Geth, but you couldn't find any of the rest of that crap? Especially when that attack has clearly been going on for a while?
I didn't do anything wrong, Captain. Hopefully the Council can see that.
I'll stand behind you and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian.
Let me guess.
Saren's a Spectre.
Yep.
One of the best. A living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, It means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
Oh, joy.
Why?
He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of aliens think that way. Most of them don't do anything about it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
Probably nothing the Council's gonna listen to.
Just before I lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
Let's go blunt here.
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
What are we gonna tell them? I had a bad dream?
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology? Blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction? Whatever it was. Saren took it. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
Question is, how are we gonna prove any of that?
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything. That's why we need the Council on our side.
We prove Saren's gone rogue and the Council will revoke his Spectre status.
I'll contact the Ambassador and see if he can get us an audience with the Council. He'll want to see us as soon as we reach the Citadel. We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
So this is gonna be fun. Let's go ahead and peek around the Normandy. Looks like this is maybe where Chakwas works in private. Of course, here are the beds. Medical bay, another thing. Oh yeah, nice thing about this is that you can replenish your metagel between missions.
Glad to see you're okay, Commander.
So you only really need to keep track of it
Commander,
in the actual
I'm glad
mission.
to see you're okay. Losing Jenkins was hard on the crew, and I'm glad we didn't lose you too.
Things were pretty rough down there.
Yeah, you never get used to seeing dead civilians. Doesn't seem right somehow. But at least you stopped Saren from wiping out the whole colony.
I couldn't have done it without you.
We're Marines. We stick together. And I'm just sorry that we lost Jenkins.
Yeah, I wish I could have done something to save him.
I was there. You did everything right. It was just bad luck.
Actually, I would say it was...
It's been a hell of a shakedown, Cruz. Our first mission ends with one Spectre killing another. The Citadel Council's not going to be happy about that. Probably use it to lever more concessions out of the Alliance.
Also, while I do feel bad for Jenkins, I'm willing to blame that on him, considering the dumbass ran directly out from behind cover and was not... well, I actually think we directed him there, but either way, you think you would move faster when you see something trying to shoot at you.
You've got a good grasp of the situation. You a career man?
Yeah,
I can never really tell what happened in that cutscene.
Restricted, but we sure don't go undocumented. May as well get a paycheck for it. Besides, my father served. I made him proud when I enlisted. Eventually. But is that why you're here? Because of your family?
Yeah, sorry, Caden.
I never met my parents. If they wanted to see me, they'd have contacted me after that mess a few years back.
Oh, that's right, the Blitz. I imagine that bought you any post in the fleet. Word is we're heading for the Citadel, ma'am. Can you, tell me why?
The captain hopes the ambassador can get an audience with the council. Tell them what Saren's been up to.
Makes sense. They'd probably like to know he's not working for them anymore. Whatever happens, we'll be ready, Commander.
So yeah, if you don't really know this game, one of the major aspects of it is that you can talk to your crew whenever you're on the Normandy, and they'll have things to say to you. Because you may have mentioned that I said I was not going to talk to Ashley later, and her stopping being a garbage human being would come a lot later in her little personal dialogue. That's what I meant. Everyone has a certain amount of personal dialogue. You can talk with them, you can influence how they think of you, though that doesn't really, there's not like a reputation
Commander?
system.
Is there something you need?
Like you would see in Knights of the Old Republic 2 or anything. something a little bit more subtle and complicated.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined.
I really like Chakwas.
But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse. And the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
I do wonder how old she is, though.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth. Or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
What do you know about Captain Anderson?
I've served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. But he cares about the people under his command.
So yeah, basically Anderson is badass and awesome, and if you don't like him, what's wrong with you?
How well do you know the lieutenant?
Kidding.
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record. Over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
I will say that Anderson is the best commanding officer we're gonna get, though, so...
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
I believe we use an L3 implant? I don't really remember. You can look it up in the codexes, but I think Vanguards use either L3 or L4.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain.
Dang.
There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
Technically that is pretty lucky, though migraines are pretty terrible.
Go.
Goodbye, Commander.
No, Ashley's right there. Meh. Nobody we can talk to around here. You mostly don't get to talk to the NPCs in your crew, which is a little sad, but what you can do. The rank and file, yes. That was the word I was looking for. Also, the Normandy has, as far as I can tell, the progressive loading. So you can technically move around the ship fairly seamlessly. Let's see what Joker has to say.